Dear friends, Shalom. Welcome to our fourth episode entitled Off or Out. There is another gospel passage often invoked by critics opposed to church involvement in politics. And that is in chapter 18, verse 36 of St. John's Gospel, which is usually read as follows: My kingdom is not of this world. This is also often misunderstood as meaning that Christ's kingdom is in another world. Therefore, social, economic, political problems of this world do not concern him at all. Likewise, the church and the church people, for instance, the clergy and or the religious, should not concern themselves with economic and political matters, but rather concentrate on preaching and administering the sacraments. The text, the original Greek text, reads as follows: He, Basilia, he emi, uk istin, ek tu kosmo toto. Note that the Greek preposition ek means origin or point of departure or provenance. Also to be noted that Jesus spoke in Aramaic, wherein a term can have more than one meaning. For instance, kingdom, first meaning a place or country where a king governs. Second, reign or the governance of a king. Third, kingship or power, dignity of a king. The proper translation is actually, my kingship is not out of this world. Context. The phrase, not out of this world, should be understood in terms of St. John's use of the word. For instance, John 17:14 to 16. Jesus and his disciples are in the world, but not of the world, meaning thereby that although they live in the world, they do not subscribe to the values and or standards of the world. Thus, the meaning of the proper or correct translation is, my kingship is not out of this world. The meaning is that Christ's kingship is not like that of the world. For instance, by conquest, by use of force, or by royal succession, or by appointment, reward from an emperor, but that he was sent by the Father and anointed by the Holy Spirit. Furthermore, the manner of his reign is by service, washing of the feet of the disciples, as opposed to lording it over the subjects, or by domination, as is common in the world. Third, meaning and message. It is therefore wrong or incorrect to say that social, economic, or political problems of this world do not concern church people, especially the clergy and or the religious. In fact, since the values and or standards of the world are different and even opposed to that of the gospel or kingdom values, the disciples of Christ are to present a counter culture, counter values to the prevailing unjust society in order to make it more humane and just. To help us fully understand this text, it is to be noted that in an earlier text, that is John chapter 8, verse 23, in the midst of a harsh controversy with the Pharisees, Jesus tells them, I am not of this world, using exactly the same terms. Jesus wants to point out that the distinction and or difference is not between religious and temporal, but between domination and service. Thus, Jesus' kingdom or kingship is unlike the one Pilate knows. That is, a kingdom of arbitrariness, privileges, and domination. In contrast, Jesus' kingship is that of love, justice, and service. Thank you for listening. Shalom.